I'm gonna play for you. I'm gonna play for it. I'm gonna play some exclusive stuff on here.
I'm with that. I heard that it was good from people I really respect, like A&Rs in the music industry too. Orlando told me it was tight.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my brother.
Right. When he said it, I was like, damn, that's crazy. He wouldn't really say that about somebody unless he really thought it was dope.
My man, yeah.
Crazy. All right, so I guess we got to go back to the early days though. You're from Miami?
Yeah, from Miami.
How old are you right now?
18.
Okay, so you're from Miami. What kind of upbringing you have?
Like how I started?
Yeah, or like just what kind of kid were you when you were like, elementary, junior high?
Oh yeah, I was always basically I was always like hustling whatever it was, like selling candy, whatever it was, pencils, a bunch of like all that little shit.
It's like a type of kid that is just figuring out how he can make little amounts of money when he's young.
In fact, I like washed cars in my neighborhood with no soap, but like still washed it. I walked dogs till one dog ran away. It was over for that.
I was interviewing somebody who was saying they're a dog walker the other day, and that was like, how many dogs do you have? They're like, oh, we had like 20 dogs at the same time.
Oh, yeah. No. I had one dog, and then it was a baby dog, and I was walking with it, and a big Rottweiler was in the garage in my neighborhood, and he just started barking. He was off the leash. Like, how do you leave a Rottweiler off the leash in your garage with the open garage?
You should go to jail for that.
This dog just started running. So I felt so bad for the little dog. So I was trying to like calm the big dog down, but I'm not gonna lie, I was like 13, so I was kind of shook that he was gonna eat me. And like he was like running, I couldn't like protect the little dog, so I let the little dog go. He started running, and then we found the dog later, but that was it. I was like, never again doing that.
I'm still scared of big dogs.
Nah, he was big. He was definitely my size.
And I'm like annoyed by little dogs, actually, now that I think about it.
Chihuahuas and stuff.
There's like a very like fine line of like what kind of dogs I really mess with. I like beagles.
That's cool.
I like
that's
any
cute.
dog that's like really like cute and funny looking.
Yeah.
That's all I got going for me. All right, so yeah, you're a kid and you like knew how to hustle. What were your earliest hustles?
Well, yeah, like the candy stuff, walk dogging, car washing, and then it really moved on to sneakers as a hobby.
So when did that become a thing, and what made you initially have the idea that you could do that?
It was literally the LeBron 9 Galaxies, the orange ones.
So what year are we talking?
This was like 5 years ago, probably.
Keep in mind, my sneaker knowledge is on 0.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was just you're dealing with a simple man that doesn't know a lot about
fine.
like the various Jordans that have come out over the years.
I want to say this was like 5 years ago, like right around my bar mitzvah. My mom got me them, and I wore them to school. Everyone was like, "Oh, these are hard. Like these are fire. Whatever." Like it was like, I guess it was the wave. And then
your mom didn't know any better. She just copped them to cop them. She didn't know it was hot.
Champs. Like I was a size 6, so like my size was always. I was not I don't have a small foot now, but I had a small foot back then.
Yeah.
Kind of have a small foot now.
Well, I'm like a fucking 13, so I feel your problem on the other side. It's like hard to find shoes in 13.
I'm like 8.5.
Oh, so that's good. That's normal now.
Yeah, but then
With six must have been rough.
I was like a 6, so like they stayed in the store. So my mom got them, I wore them, and then everyone's like, "Oh wow, you got the whole pack?" And I was like, "What pack?" I was like, "Yeah, I got the whole pack." I didn't know what pack though, so I went with my mom to the store. I was like, "What pack?" Like, and they were like, one kid in my class was like, "Yo, I want to buy the Kobe's off you. I'll give you double."
I can't believe they just knocked. I put a fucking sign on the door that says "Don't knock." I just spent like 10 minutes doing that. Please go shoot someone. All right, what were you saying?
So
the pack.
The pack. So I was like, "Yeah, I have the pack," and I told my mom, I was like, "Yo, let's go. I have a friend that wants to pay me double for the Kobe's." So we went there, and she bought me 2 pairs of Kobe's, one my size, one his. I sold it to him the next day for double. So basically, I got my pair for free.
Right.
And then I was like, always trying to buy shoes, and then
That's an addictive feeling, huh?
yeah, definitely. My birthday came around on my bar mitzvah, and I bought a pair of shoes, Myro 7s for like $700, and I wore them. And my dad was like, "Wow, you're an idiot." Like, he was like, "You're actually dumb. Like, you just spent $700 on a pair of shoes, and no one else is gonna buy them from you ever again. Now you just wore them; they're worth 0."
Right.
And it had the lace pack and all. So I wore them once, I kept them, and I sold them like 2 months later, not even for $950, or right around there. My dad was like, "Wow, so you found someone just as dumb as you, I guess, right?"
Your dad a real traditional kind of guy?
Yeah.
What's he do for a living?
He's an entrepreneur.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he super famous and I'm just in the
No,
dark?
no.
Everyone else in the room is laughing. I think I am in the dark.
No, he does real estate.
Okay. It's probably like fucking the richest dude in Miami that I don't know about, yeah.
But
Come on, let's talk dads.
I wasn't even laughing because I was laughing because my friend she was just looking at me weird. But yeah, so no, he was just like, "You found someone just as dumb as you, right? Like, whatever." So I sold the shoe and I just started like buying.
Buying what?
They just keep looking at me. It's like, it's a problem. But I just kept buying and selling shoes. And it was like, from there it became a hobby. I got into SBs, Tiffany's, What the Dunks, all that stuff. Like, it was like the first shoe. Then I bought the Galaxy foams for like $800. I wore them and I scuffed them crazy. So I was like, oh, I'm losing money on this for sure. So I got to make it back on a different shoe. But What the Dunks, bought a bunch of stuff, got into the game. Then I had a mutual friend that he connected me with DJ Khaled.
Who was the mutual friend?
Oh, it's like just a mutual friend, you know. It's like no one famous.
Is hanging out in Miami with DJ Khaled just like, you know, it might happen? Like if you're in the music scene in LA, like I was with Travis Barker last night and I was just thinking about it and I'm like, that probably seems like a really big deal to a lot of people, but you know, if you're in the rap scene in LA, it's not that big a deal. He's like a dude who's in the music scene out here, you know? Is DJ Khaled just sort of a dude who's in the scene?
Yeah. And then, but this was like 4 years ago.
And before he became like the viral sensation that we all know him to be a bit now.
But it was on something like we were all doing the same thing that he talks about, like the whole washing the flour, like he was doing it. The whole jet skis, we were really getting pulled over on the jet skis. Like all the stuff he's like talking about now, he was really doing it. People were like, oh, he just fakes it for the Snapchat. It was more of like he just posted what he did on Snapchat and people found it entertaining and just blew up type of thing. But now I remember he made a Snapchat and then every day like just 100,000 extra, 100,000 extra, 100,000, and then before you knew it was like huge. It was like biggest thing out.
It was so interesting because he kind of took like his regular like rapper personality and then just like sort of transferred it over to Snapchat. And like normally most people sort of like become a regular person on Snapchat, and he just decided to like live as his like rapper character on Snapchat and like just took it to an extreme, and people just like, that was one of the first people that you really saw like just building a name for themselves on Snapchat.
No, yeah, facts. It was crazy.
And so were you ever around during like a time period? Oh, my phone's over here. Were you ever around when he was sort of like coming up with the idea that he was gonna like sort of take on this whole different like? It
was more of like he had like a bunch of people in the house all the time, like a bunch of close people, and everyone was just like, you know, Snap was a new thing at the time. Everyone was like, oh, Snap, 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 whatever. He made a Snap. First couple of days he was posting, it was cool, and then it just out of nowhere, like, I remember one day we came to the house, go jet skiing, and it was like 60,000 views. Next day, 150. And then from there, it was just like, it wasn't even on like, it was just natural. It was like no one was posting. It was catching, like everyone was just laughing at it, like, oh, lion, the whole plant. Like it was just great, like pulling over on jet skis.
It was weird too, because it was like, if there's a YouTube link going viral, like people put it on Twitter, they texted to each other, all that shit. With DJ Khaled, it was blowing the fuck up just by people talking about it, and then people had to go figure it out on their own. Yeah. It's like such a higher like learning curve to go figure out what somebody's Snapchat is and shit like that. But why were you? What do you think he saw in you that he even wanted you to like be around? A lot of times, like really successful people like having like younger people around that have like that energy and that drive.
Well, I guess I think it was the entrepreneurship, honestly, because it was like our friend linked him because he needed some shoes, and I got him the shoes. And then I just started getting him shoes all the time. And then he was like, oh, come to the show, come here, come to the house, come on tour. And it was just like, I was just doing my thing with the shoes. I was obviously still plugging him. He plugged me with a bunch, like French Montana, P. Diddy. Like I remember we went on jet skis to P. Diddy's house. I linked with his kids, Justin, Christian, Quincy.
Right.
From there, just went crazy. So like, he put me on with them. He a real one. He put me on with them. Right. It was just, from there, it was just.
It's all about who you fucking are able to like, you know, network and meet. And like, if you're like you like, it's so out of the ordinary to be like a fucking 15, 16-year-old kid that's actually like cool enough that adults want to have him around. And it's just so crazy that you were able to sort of like leapfrog ahead of a shitload of other people that were trying to do this type of shit because you just had like the personality to sort of, you know, people like when they talk about, you know, hanging out with somebody like Puffy or fucking or Khaled or whatever, it's like it seems like such an unapproachable thing because these types of people do not want random ass people around them because they're busy and successful and motherfuckers act weird and shit.
Fact, yeah, they just do their own thing.
Yeah,
but nah, honestly I just caught the wave with them. I guess like at the right time and all, they fucked me. Like it just clicked. French, his brothers, AU, Zach, all of them. It was just like it became like I was going on tour with them with Khaled. I remember we went to Barclays with Diddy in New York for the show for him and Jay-Z thing. And then I met who was it first? I want to say it was Offset. I met Offset first. This was a long time ago. This was before Bad and Bougie. This was like almost 30 years ago.
Benjamin Kickz got left off Bad and Bougie.
Sad, right? Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
He was on the first version before Uzi.